Hi, busy bees. This is Emeline here. Thanks for joining us and welcome. Today we're going to be working on our splits. Don't worry if you think you're not flexible. That's the point of practicing. You're going to get more flexible. So no worries. We're going to have a nice relaxing stretch class. This is in real time. And so you can just press play and we're going to have a full stretch class. So no pausing the video if you don't want to. Let's get started. So what's really important is keeping our hips warmed up. So we're gonna start with crisscross position, crisscross applesauce. And we can stretch the hips out like this, pressing one hand down on the same leg, stretching your hips out. For an even more stretch, you can go in butterfly like this. But just start where you are. Start with what you got, and the rest will come with practice. So give those hips a good stretch. I've got a tip for you today. What I would really love from everyone is to keep breathing. Breathing it helps relax the muscles, and so you relax into the stretch. There'll be less chance of you pulling muscles, and you're gonna get a deeper stretch. And for overall well-being, you're gonna feel a lot better. So stretch them out. You could rotate, go back and forth. And we're gonna stretch forward. Just getting those hips ready. Stretching forward, go ahead and relax your whole spine and head down. And deep breaths. We're gonna lie on our backs. And bring one foot, bring it up, cross it over, kind of like a 4, the number 4, to the other knee. And if you want an even deeper stretch, you could lift this supporting the bottom leg up. So this is another really good hip stretch. And if you want to deepen it even further, stretch that leg. Make sure your hips are both like even on the ground. Stretch it out. I'm gonna keep it here. Remember to relax. Don't push yourself too much. Just what you feel you need. All right, we're gonna switch. Bring the other leg up and cross it over. You can go ahead and deepen it with a bent leg or a straight leg. You can point your toe or flex your toe. Just give it a try, see how it feels. I prefer flexing because I have really tight calves, and this stretches my calves out more. Yes, I love this stretch. Okay. Shake your legs out. And now, how we're gonna get into splits, we're going to stretch the front leg first and the back leg next. So let's come up into a lunge and make sure that this knee does not go over your toes like this. Keep it at 90 degrees. That puts a lot of stress on the knee. So if you want more of a stretch, you could scoot this back leg back more and kind of sink into your hips right here. You could bring your arms down or all the way down to the ground. Woo! Yeah, this one will stretch both hips and your hip flexor, which is like right in front of your hip here. And just breathe through it. If any of you are dancers, this is really good for a back extension like an arabesque or a needle. And if you do a lot of crunches or abdominal exercises that go this way, this also helps stretching out your psoas, which is like right around your abdomen kind of, and it goes all the way down here. So it'll help with your balance and yeah. Okay, come up. And now we're gonna go back. Stretch back, you can flex your foot. That gives a really great calf stretch. You get your hamstrings. And stretch forward just however far you feel you can. Really make sure to square your hips. When I say square your hips, that means they're both facing evenly as if there's like two headlights on them, and the headlights are both pointing forward like on a car. So if you're opening your hips, they kind of twist this way or the other way. Just make sure they're even. You could come down and relax. Great job. I know one thing when I was learning to do my splits, oh my gosh, it took me several months to really get the splits, and I just practiced every single day. I was doing a lot of ballet at the time, and I just really wanted to be flexible, so I practiced a lot. Okay, let's come out of that. And we're gonna come into a pigeon pose next to stretch the hips out and even more. So bend that front leg that we just had extended out front. If you want a deeper stretch, you could bring this leg to a 90-degree angle. If not, just go ahead and keep it bent like this. Have your hips set up straight. It's okay if they're not on the ground. An even deeper stretch. You could come down all the way like this. Rest your head on the ground. But I just practiced every day. You might feel a little bit sore the day after and less flexible, and that is the best time to stretch again and to continue stretching, because that's when your muscles will get more used to being stretched out. Okay, crawl on up. And we're going to come into child's pose to kind of relax that out. Way to go. We're going to go ahead and do these same exercises on the left side. So come into your lunge. Remember, keep your knee at 90 degrees. Square the hips. It's okay if you feel like you can't do one of the poses very well, like you're not very flexible. As long as you're stretching the right way for splits, which is keeping your hips squared, when you do get your splits, they're going to be really good. So sit into this, really send your breath into wherever you feel tension. Scan your body. I love stretch classes. Come back. I love stretch classes because they really give me time to just relax and be with my body and just breathe. It's similar to how I feel in a yoga class, especially yin yoga. And I kind of start to become aware of places that I hold tension in my body. So where it feels tight right now, really try to send your breath to that place and relax it. Trust me, all stretching will be better if you relax into it instead of forcing it. Okay, awesome. We're gonna come into our pigeon pose on the left side. Bring that knee down, square your hips. I just rediscovered this pose recently and it's been rocking my world. Like, my hips have gotten so tight. This is the one for me right now. So come all the way down. And relax. I definitely felt myself holding my left hip muscle really tightly, and then I just relaxed it, and it was a totally different feel. Okay. And come out of it, we'll go into child's pose. Really stretch those arms if you want a deeper stretch in your shoulders, or you can relax them or bring them down by your sides like this, whatever feels right for you. Some people open their knees like this also. Some people open their knees and it stretches out their lower back more right here. Okay. So now we're getting into the really splits stretches. We're going to bring this back leg just tucked right behind us. And once again, square your hips. So right now my hips are open. I want to square it. One way to know is that this extended leg is like a 90-degree angle to your hips. So do your best to keep it squared. And do your best to tuck this behind. If this is too difficult right now, you can bring it in here like this too. We're really gonna stretch underneath here for when you do go into your splits. So I'm gonna go ahead and go like this. And bring your arms up and stretch forward. Try to lead with your lower back and your chest. The lower back is what you want to be close to your leg. It's not so much about where your hands are. So press the lower back and slowly continue up your vertebrae and press the rest until your head relaxes. And relax if you can. Just breathe through it. Trust me. The thing about stretching is you see progress pretty quickly. At least I hope you do. That's how it was for me. So here you can point your toe if you want, or you can flex your toe. And if you're really feeling awesome today, go ahead and really, really stretch and straighten that knee. You're going to get a great deep stretch. Go ahead and experiment with the point and the flex foot. You get two really different stretches. Wow. Okay. You can come on out of it. Woo. And we're going to go ahead and just go back to stretch this out. So now do bring the leg back if it was not. And come back. Be super gentle with this one. Come down to your elbows first. If you feel any pressure, discomfort on your knee, don't do it. Do it standing up and bringing this leg back like this. Or even laying on your stomach and then pulling this leg back to your bum like this. Be super gentle with this position. So if you want even more, you can lay all the way back. And I feel it all right here on the front of my leg. So I'm really curious why so many people want to get their splits, especially if they don't dance. So go ahead and comment why you want to do your splits. I guess it could be a cool like party trick. Could just whip it out on the floor or something. Or I also know a lot of people who are into yoga. Splits is like a major part of some of the moves. Okay, so come on out of that stretch. And now we're going to tuck the front leg in. And we're going to shake your leg out if you need it. I do. And then bring the back leg like such. Where you're above the hip, it's really similar to pigeon pose. We're pretty much in pigeon again. But now we're going to be focusing more on the back leg and stretching it here. So if you want an even deeper stretch, go ahead and straighten this leg back here like that. And come up on your toes and really just stretch the back knee. And you could be off the ground a little bit, whatever's comfortable. And if you want, you can even stretch back a little. I'm really feeling it in my hip flexor. The front and back extensions for me have always been one of my biggest challenges. I have really tight calves, and this whole muscle up the back of my legs have always been really tight. So yeah, this is a good stretch for me. I'm all about the center splits. I can do those super easily, always have. My hips are really open. The thing about some of the splits moves, all right, go ahead and relax. And we're gonna do these same ones on the left side. You guys are doing amazing. Keep going, keep breathing. Remember, you could bring this bent leg behind or in front, square the hips, stretch out and bring the lower back down, 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 squeeze the lower back, bring the belly to your top of your thigh, and then relax at the bottom. So some people's hips, just the way they are built, you can't really get into some of the splits positions as easily as others. So once again, listen to your body above all else and just find the positions that you can thrive in. And then the more difficult ones, be gentle with them. Okay, come on up. We're gonna stretch back now. Remember, be super gentle. This leg is a little bit tighter for me, so I definitely feel it more, or I'm more prone to feeling it on my knee on this side. Yeah. Be aware of the different things in your body, and usually the two different sides are have different flexibilities and abilities. So, got some fuzz in my mouth. Remember, if this is too much, you could do it standing up, holding this back leg wherever is comfortable, or you could go on your stomach and pull the back leg up. Make sure to press your hips into the ground while you're lifting. Or this one where you can just relax into it. Gravity does the work for you. Okay, come on up. And now we're going in for the back leg. And I get super excited here because by the time we got here, we're almost to practicing the full splits. One thing I like to do sometimes, you have to go really easy on yourself, but try the splits towards the beginning of class, then do all the stretches, then try the splits again at the end of class, and you can totally see a difference completely. So maybe try that next time. Make sure to be careful because once I did do the splits, I did the splits in a big 5 just to show off. I was showing my parents and I got the gnarliest Charlie horse and we went skiing the very next day for a few days and I couldn't move for days because I just whipped him out of nowhere. So definitely don't do that, always warm up. So do a little back bend if you want. Remember, your toes could be on the ground. They don't have to be propped up like this. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. Okay. Also, one more edit. If you want to get another stretch, you can also do this one where you lift it up. Careful on the knee. So now we're ready to do the full splits. Be super careful and we're just gonna go into it. So this is how I like to do. We come on the knee, bring the arms down, and then just start extending the legs. You could do one at a time slowly, but really try to make sure they're even in the end, evenly stretched. So when you can stretch them at the same time, go for it. And just go until you're mostly propping yourself up here with your arms. Okay, you may be here, anywhere. Anywhere you are is perfect for you right now. But just keep stretching. You got this. And I know you don't want to hear this, but you just got to hold it. Just relax into it. Stretch it. Breathe. Everything is going to be okay. And relax into it. So if you're here, where I am, we can even deepen the stretch by bending forward, crawling with your arms, and relax. I'm even flexing my front foot. That gives me an even deeper stretch. Or you can point them. And crawl back up. And you can even bend back. And come up. Awesome job. If you're still holding it with me, major props. You are doing amazing. Okay, so to come out of it, you can either just roll out of it like this, or if you're higher up on the ground, you can stand up. And what I found the best for if you're feeling tight is just bringing them on in with your hands. They don't got to do any work. Shake them out, let them chill. Wow. Are you ready for left side? Whenever you're ready, we're going to come into our knees on the left side. Square them hips. So come into your knees, make sure your hips are squared, and bring your arms down. And begin to extend. Stretch it out. And relax. When I was learning my splits, one thing that I really enjoyed doing was I would come home every day and just put my iPod in, and I would have a goal to hold each split for like a whole song or something, and I'd listen to like all my favorite music. So that definitely helps pass the time, because sometimes it gets really deep and you're just like sitting there with your thoughts and your stretches. So find some ways. You can watch TV too. That's another great way to do it. Or just being alone and having some time to yourself also feels really great. So stretch forward. If you can. If it feels right, and you can also stretch back. And you can roll out of it, step out of it, however you want to do. Okay, so awesome job. You guys have done the full set of stretches for the front and back splits. And now we're going to do our center splits, but you're already like so stretched out, so you should be good. So come to your straddle. You're just going to be open. No need to worry about squaring. And we're going to bring one arm in front and the other arm above our head. And stretch towards as if someone's pulling your arm. Stretch. Keep your heart, your chest open, and the arm above your head. And really reach. Try to keep both bum cheeks on the floor also. You'll get a deeper stretch. So stretch to one side. And the other side. Awesome. Now we're going to come with both our shoulders towards one leg and stretching down. This gives a slightly different stretch. And other side, shoulders towards your leg. And come up. Now we're going to come forward. So stretch, stretch, stretch. Walk your hands out and come down. If you want to challenge yourself, and it's also really important if you are like a ballet dancer or a dancer that uses turnout, you can try to rotate your legs back like this. So go ahead and stretch. This is by far my favorite splits position. It is surprisingly relaxing for me, but the front and the back are like, oh my gosh. They're tough for me. Okay, done, done, done. Now we're going to do over the splits. So if you're comfortable with it, go ahead and roll over the splits like this, where gravity is pushing your splits down. Now, if you can't roll into it, another way to do it is standing up first and then coming down like this until you reach your limit. And hold yourself there. I know this may not be the most pleasant feeling, but this is going to be the fastest way for you to get the splits. And then when you're feeling sore tomorrow, stretch, stretch, stretch again. It may feel a little funky at first, but once your muscles warm up, they're just going to be like rubber bands. It'll feel good, trust me. So for this one, when you're over the splits, you can't really turn out because we're completely like in a different position. Not in the same way as when we were sitting back. So one goal that you could look towards is being on this side of the splits, being sitting on our bum like this. And then coming through over the splits, and then rolling all the way through until you come into the frog. So if we come all the way through, the frog is like this with our feet together on our stomachs. Yeah. So the key to this is to have your heels down and your toes pointed up and to have the heels as close to your bum as possible. You can stretch down if you want, anything. So close your legs now, come back into child's pose because your joints are probably really feeling this right now. I know mine are. Oops. Okay, so since you guys bared it with me this whole class, I know you did awesome. I'm going to show you one more stretch that I love to do. It's for the center split, and I think it'll work on this, but you're supposed to sit up against a wall, so I'll show you. Wow, this actually works really well. So sit up against a wall though. Imagine this is a full-length wall. And bring your bum all the way to the wall. Bring your legs up against the wall like this. And then open them. If you want a challenge, you can ask one of your friends, a trusted friend, that to bring the legs down a little bit more. And they kind of stick to the wall usually, so they'll stick there. Or you could bring it down with your hands. But gravity really does the job here. And you can just chill out, listen to music, watch a YouTube episode, whatever you want to do. And it may not feel like much at first sometimes, but if you sit in here for several minutes, and then when you try to come out of it, your legs almost don't work sometimes. My favorite way to come out of it is pushing away from the wall and letting the legs relax on their own. So, thank you so much for joining me today. I had a great time. I love stretch classes. And I really, really hope that this helps you progress in your stretches. So go ahead and let me know. Show me pictures of your splits wherever I can give you some tips or just say, woohoo, great job. For these stretches, the ones that will work the fastest is just sitting in the splits. Sitting there waiting for gravity to run its full course. So good job. I know you all got this. And thanks for watching. Follow my Instagram at peaceoutbeansprout. And let me know what you're interested in, what you like or don't like. I'm super curious, but mostly what you like. So thanks again, and I'll see you soon.